So I'm taking this Resilience for Birds, and I have impregnated a couple of grapes, which is a little tiny dab. And now I have some oatmeal that is, I prefer in my own diet, the steel cut oats. These are steel cut oats with some Dutton's black raspberries mixed in. Resilience, and I have some Libby's pumpkin pie filling, which is just nothing but pumpkin. So I'm going to put this together, and this is how I'm going to treat, or I should say dose, the entire flock of fowl, ducks included, with Resilience, which we will put on the calendar, and we will return to this in 5 to 9 days. So I'm just mixing this as thoroughly as possible. And you know, Resilience, it tastes fine for birds that dig in the ground and eat spicy roots and slightly poisonous bugs. Not so much to birds that eat lots of vegetation and milder food. So this is one way of concealing some of the oregano oil, which is probably the most potent of the flavors. So mixing that in, I will describe in detail the exact amount of each thing if you want to copy this to a T, but in reality, if you're an animal manager, especially of rare birds, you know that it's really it's an issue of the day. Right now, this is the second or third day of really nice weather here in Vermont. It's been super cold. It's very sunny out. Their baby peafowl have been out for 4 days and not eaten. They went out for the very first time and decided to fly into a tree and stayed out in a snowstorm, etc. And so they're home now. And so they're going to be getting some of this, and so that we want for them to have it because they've been under stress. Also, I just brought a new pair of Rapa Nui fowl from Meadows Bee Farm, extremely rare birds, into our flock. We have Rapa Nui fowl that are the same family, brother even, and so they're just super valuable. So we are dosing them with all the goodness that we can in advance, so that we don't have to even worry about the birds getting, catching any kind of weird bug or what have you. But what I really like about Resilience is that when the bird eats it, it is absorbed into the body, obviously. And because it passes right through the mucous membrane, it gets absorbed quite readily into the fat layer. And the uropygial gland, the oil gland, it secretes waxy material that the birds use to cover their legs and their feathers with. Waterproofs them, conditions them, heals them. The ingredients in Resilience become a part of the uropygial gland's secretions. And what you'll find is that mites and lice cease to exist because the birds are medicating themselves against them as they see fit when they preen, because of the active oils and what have you in the resilience. So this is Golden Egg Nugget by Farmer's Helper. I'm mixing a bunch of this in here because I am concerned that those little peafowl lost a lot of weight being out in the cold, not eating for 4 days. So right now I'm giving them the best kind of a come home moment. These are made out of crab meal, nut dough, beef suet, turmeric, black cumin, spices that are super healthful. So this is really good stuff. So I'm mixing that in here as well. And now what I'll do is I will put this out in several different places so that every bird can fill their crop with as much of this material as they so choose. And I'm thinking that I was thinking about putting grain in it, but I think I won't. But I will put a few grapes. And if I'm lucky, I can distract chickens long enough with grapes to make sure that I can get a duck or peafowl to swallow one of these whole before they decide they don't like the flavor. But just want to make sure. And in these, I've dosed it quite heavily.